Hi everyone, I'm Shomion, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a chocolate chip cookie recipe. My chocolate chip cookie recipe at that. Because, who doesn't love chocolate chip cookies? They are one of the best desserts on the planet, and especially, because they're so easy to make. And everyone should probably have a chocolate chip cookie recipe, stored away so you can pull it out and, please your guests, because I'm betting that they're gonna like this recipe. And here's the thing, with chocolate chip cookie recipes, and this one in particular, it took so long to develop for me because there's so many variations to a chocolate chip cookie. I was just looking at I always look at for the best, which is stupid because who doesn't want to put the best in front of their chocolate chip cookie recipe? But it's like the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, or it's perfect, which perfect is an illusion. But it's like perfect chocolate chip cookie, perfect chocolate chip cookie, perfect chocolate chip cookie. And it's like, oh my God. And none of them for me were the perfect chocolate chip cookie. And that's the thing. And that's my favorite part about baking, is really that you kind of get to create it and make it your own. And especially once you kind of know what all the ingredients do, you can develop recipes too. So for me, the perfect chocolate chip cookie is an ooey gooey chewy chocolate chip cookie, which has crisp outside, a soft and chewy center, really nice chocolate, and it should stay chewy for 3 days. I never have chocolate chip cookies last longer than 3 days, but they should stay chewy for a period of time. And these chocolate chip cookies do exactly that. They are nearly perfect. They are the best, whatever you want to call them. They are just my go-to chocolate chip cookie recipe, and I'm going to share it with you here. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients, which are flour, which is flour, and this is 1.5, no it's not, it's 1 3/4, I promise, I know, this is my recipe. This is 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I can't speak. Whenever you bake, you oftentimes use all-purpose flour, and that's just because it does a lot, and hopefully, if this series goes well, you'll learn all about flour. But flour here, I'm adding this to the bowl, 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So I've got our flour in the bowl here, and what we're doing is really just mixing together all of our dry ingredients. And I don't know why I did this, because they are dry. They're dry ingredients. And I like to do this first just because it makes the whole cookie process towards the end a lot easier. So I've got my flour here. I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. This is what's gonna give our cookies a little bit of rise. You don't want too much rise, because if they rise too much, then it's not gonna be really chewy, but you want enough rise that they're not gonna be flat. Like those thin, crisp ones. Some people like that, but not me. And then 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We bake with kosher salt because it has more consistent granules. I've never said the word granules in my life. Granules, and well, it's 3/4 teaspoon, which is a little bit more salt than normal, but I really like that salty bite that chocolate chip cookies can have. So I'm gonna mix all these together with a whisk. Sometimes you'll notice in baking that a lot of recipes will say sift it together. Here's the thing, I don't believe in sifting. I'm sorry, okay, wait, I should take that back. There are some instances in which sifting works. You do need to sift, otherwise your baking is not gonna turn out. But for cakes, for cookies, for pies, for muffins, all of this, I don't understand why I'm supposed to sift this to get all the lumps out, just to add it to the wet ingredients to make more lumps. Doesn't make sense. So I just whisk it together. This just makes everything incorporated and also just breaks up some of those big lumps. If you do have big lumps, or if your flour is really clumpy, then just sift it. But you can see the consistency here. It's mixed. It's spilling too. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. We can do a little fun cut. By we, I mean me. I'm gonna grab this stand mixer here, which doesn't have a glass bowl, which bothers the crap out of me because you're not gonna see it, but that's okay, I can explain. Although maybe I should do it with a hand mixer. I'll be right back. All right, so I grabbed Katie, my lady. That's what I've named my hand mixer, Katie. And I also changed my spatula so that it would match, because I love a theme. But we're gonna make the base of our chocolate chip cookie recipe now, which is really like the best part, honestly. Anytime you add butter and sugar together. So we're gonna start here with, we're starting here with 1 stick or half a cup of unsalted butter. I always like baking with the unsalted butter because, well, then you know how much salt we've added. And we've already added quite a bit of salt to the dry ingredients, so I don't want them to be too salty. Plus, every different butter brand that you like is gonna be different, so it's hard to like write a recipe for that. So unsalted butter, and you can see this is at room temperature. All of the important ingredients like butter and eggs at room temperature. It just makes it easier to incorporate. So half a cup or 1 stick of butter, half a cup of light brown sugar. When measuring the brown sugar, you want to make sure that it really is packed into your measuring cup, and so that when you dump it out, it should really hold the shape of the measuring cup. You want to get as much sugar in there as you can. And then half a cup of granulated sugar. And first of all, did I not say, like, this mixture here is heavenly? If there was only something I could just do to like bake this off. But again, it's a science, everything really does matter. So butter, brown sugar, granulated sugar. The granulated sugar is what's gonna give us that nice crisp outside to the cookie, and then that brown sugar is what's gonna help give us that nice chewy bite to the inside. Put these over here. I'm gonna mix this up or cream it, which just means mixing, until, well, they're combined. It takes 2 to 3 minutes, especially with a hand mixer. If you're doing this with a stand mixer, you could do it a little bit faster. And you can see here why it's important that our butter is at room temperature, because if we had cold butter and we were doing this, it would be so much harder. I'm turning up the speed because I'm impatient, but only when it comes to desserts. I just want them now. Oh, that's the other thing. A lot of chocolate chip cookie recipes that I've seen that produce like chewy chocolate chip cookies always require you to chill your dough for at least 2 hours. And like, no, that's not happening. There's no way I can wait 2 hours for my cookies, because like, I have cravings of sweets. And like, when I crave a chocolate chip cookie recipe, or chocolate chip cookie, I should say, sorry. When I crave a chocolate chip cookie, I want it now. And so this recipe, you can actually just take this and bake it right away, which, thank you for reminding me to preheat the oven, Ethan. All right, I'm gonna continue to mix this. You can see here that it kind of started out as like granules. Why am I saying that word so much? So just continue to mix. Oh my God. All right, we got it. Oh, sorry, Katie. All right. I'm going to scrape down, I'm going to get a thing of water. I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl, because this is really important, always when making really any dessert, to make sure that everything is incorporated, because you don't want pockets of weird things, especially when you add our dry. You don't want like a dry pocket in your cake. That's doesn't sound appetizing, and it's definitely not. And you can see here just how like smooth that has become. Like, this is one big old glob. So everything is well incorporated here. It's time to add in our eggs. For eggs, we've got 2 eggs here. These are also at room temperature. Really, anything that comes out of the fridge, kind of just a basic rule of baking, anything that comes out of the fridge, just take it out of the fridge like 30 minutes beforehand, unless your recipe says, you know, cold. If it doesn't say cold, just take it out 30 minutes beforehand. Allow it to warm up a little bit. So I've got 1 egg here. I like to do a one-handed egg crack because I'm a show-off. And then we're also going to add an egg yolk. So this, I'm gonna crack it over the bowl here. Some people like to crack their eggs over the bowl and then add them in. I've never, knock on wood, never had a bad egg. Where was I? Oh, we're adding an egg yolk because that's also going to provide a lot of chewiness, because the egg, the yolk part of the egg is the fatty part. And so I like adding egg yolks to things that I want to be chewy, like my brownies. Oh my God. That also took a really long time to develop, brownies. All right, 1 egg. I just like to do it back and forth in the shell. If you can't do that, you can also just put the egg in your hand and have like the yolk, or the white, sorry, the white slip through, and then just put the yolk in the bowl. I'm gonna wash my hands. after I touch the eggs. Dry my hands. No one wants that in their cookie. And now I'm going to, oh, I forgot. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I love vanilla extract so much. It adds so much depth of flavor to really anything, and like, I feel like vanilla is kind of seen as basic sometimes when it's really not. It's not basic, Mom. Okay, mix this up. All right. So this is pretty much what we're looking for here. You can see how when we add the eggs, the mixer kind of makes a lot of marks in the batter, and that's perfect batter. This is dough. I'm sorry, that's a big pet peeve of mine. Cookie dough, it's not cookie batter. Batters are thinner than dough. Dough, this is cookie dough. And then I've got my spatula here, just scraping this down again. And you can, if you make this at home, you'll notice that it's a lot lighter feeling. And there are like little chunks of brown sugar in here that really bother me. It's just because like the brown sugar, I don't know why it is. I don't know. Okay, well, they're gonna be in there. Should make a big difference. Oh my God, what happened? Sorry, I'm a professional. Yeah, right. So that's the base of our cookie dough right here, all of the wet ingredients. It's time to add in our dry ingredients, and some recipes will tell you to alternate your dry. I just like to dump it all in. Again, maybe that's because I'm impatient, but it really does make a big difference in cookie dough. Gonna mix this again on like a low speed so it doesn't blow up. And you don't want to overmix this, so we're just gonna mix this just until almost all of the flour is gone. You want to still see a little bit, but most of it should be pretty absorbed. So I'd say right about here. The reason we don't want to overmix this is because that's what's going to make a really tough cookie. The gluten in the flour, when it interacts with that water there, the more you mix it, the more you're creating, well, more gluten. And so then you're going to end up with like a bread-like cookie, which is not what we're going for, but actually kind of sounds good. Bread cookie? Although I'm scared of bread. Okay, last thing, chocolate chip cookies. And this is kind of where you can get really creative as a baker. If you don't want to make these as chocolate chip cookies, you could put peppermint little things in here. Little things is the correct term. You could do white chocolate chips, butterscotch chips. This makes just a great drop cookie base. So this is a heaping 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. And okay, splurge a little, you know, just get a good quality chocolate chip. You'll thank me later. I've switched over to our spatula here again, and now I'm just gonna kind of fold these in. Oh, the oven's ready. It has to make itself known. Shut up. So I'm just gonna fold these things in here. I probably could have used the mixer. It would probably have been easier. In fact, I think I'm going to. I just didn't want to overmix it, like I said, because I didn't want it to be tough, but I can't mix those chunks. Oh, but I put the things in the sink. Darn it. Okay, we're doing this just by hand. So you just mix this together, make sure all the chocolate chips are evenly dispersed. Make a big mess while you do it, and wish you had your mixer. That's it. That's what I wrote in the recipe. That's all he wrote. All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Don't worry, my hands are clean and you're not even gonna eat it. It's now time to bake these cookies. So like I said, they go straight from making to baking. Making to baking, they don't have to go in the fridge and chill. These cookies have no chill. So, I've got, what is this, 2 tablespoons? Yeah, this is a 4 ounce, 2 ounce. It's a 2 ounce cookie scoop. It's about 2 tablespoons. And I'm just gonna scoop up a good thing of dough here. Really press it into your scoop there, and then just drop it on your cookie sheet. And this is a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. I'm gonna continue to do that. I'll get about 6 cookies onto this sheet. You wanna put them about 1 to 1.5 inches apart. And the great thing about this chocolate chip cookie, and really chocolate chip cookies in general, is they're drop cookies, which I always feel like, you know, drop cookies really shouldn't require chill. Some of them do, but when they don't, it's even better because like you don't have to roll dough, you don't have to wait for them. It's just cookies, quick cookies. Okay, there's 6. This recipe will make about 2 dozen. Well, maybe like 1.5 dozen, but you can always double the recipe if you've got a big crowd. It's taking everything in me not to eat this, but I know that these are gonna be good. So we're gonna bake these at 350 degrees, middle rack, for about 11 to 13 minutes. I'm gonna show you what they look like at 11, because a really good tip, and another thing that people often forget when making chewy chocolate chip cookies is, well, to not overbake them, because you don't wanna overbake your cookies, then they're going to be dry. You'll need a lot of milk for that one. All right, see you in 11 minutes. All right, it's been about 11 minutes. You can bake these for like 11 to 13. Mine are definitely done, and I'll show you how I can tell. First of all, they're not Alexa, you're ruining the moment. Stop. Stop trying to upstage me, Alexa. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, you can tell that your cookies are done when they start to get lightly golden brown around the outside. Pull them out. Trust me on that, just pull them out. They're going to look a little underdone in the center. And if you like touch them, they're going to be really like jiggly in the center, but they're going to continue to cool. This is called carryover cooking. That's going to happen on this pan. And please don't throw your cookies on to your table. Like, don't just slam this pan down, because, well, first of all, take pride in what you bake. You know, you spend a lot of time on these. But the main reason is really, I don't know why I still have this. The main reason is really, if you throw this on the table here, well, then these are gonna flatten prematurely and they're not gonna be as chewy. So just let them rest. They have to sit on this pan for 10 minutes. And I know what you're thinking. They're gonna cool down. No, they are not. They're still gonna be warm after that 10 minutes, but they're just like not fully cooked in the center. So just wait. I'm talking to you, Dad. I know. Anyone else? Like, just can't. I put any cookies out, they're gone. So I'm just gonna let these sit, let them kind of flatten on their own, let them do their thing, and I'll come back in 10 minutes. My promise. All right, so our cookies here have been on the pan for about 10 minutes. Look at these. These are perfect. Like, this one is the best, then this one, then this one, then this one, this one, this one. Like, they're still warm. Trust me when I say that. And if you can see here, it has that perfect crisp edge that I really like, and then it kind of like balloons a little bit in the center, and it's gonna be so chewy. I'm gonna break this in half so you can see the inside, and like, just look at that melty chocolate. Like, there, the inside right here. Oh, I dropped some! The inside of this cookie, and I gotta eat it. I mean, I know you probably had chocolate cookies and you really like it, but please try these. They're so good, and you get that crisp outside bite. You get that soft, chewy, melty chocolate center. And like I said, if you can't make, or can't eat all these, I should say, if you can't eat all these, or you don't have enough friends for these, they'll last, and they'll remain soft and chewy just like this for about like 3 days, which is just incredible. I mean, I don't understand. I could eat this whole plate. I even made more. I could eat those too. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.